Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this webinar that Kathy and myself are putting on. As Steve Korn, CEO of Kimball Electronics, and Kathy Thomson, Chief Commercial Officer. We're very excited that you decided to join us today and take some time out of your busy schedules. We plan to share with you today what role Kimball Electronics plays in the manufacturing of durable electronics and why it's so important today and for our future, as well as a brief update on Kimball Electronics. Sam, if you can go to the next slide. Thought we'd start with what is the definition of durable electronics and how Kimball defines it. From our perspective, it's those electronics that demonstrate the highest reliability, and they have to work in the most difficult environments. And that's been part of our core, and that's the part of the market that we focus on as an electronics manufacturing company. And what makes up those characteristics of those durable electronics, I think, is really key for us to understand. You know, they have to have the highest quality material. They have to go under rigorous testing and design requirements, and they have to be built and manufactured with the greatest preciseness, as well as the best potential manufacturing processes and equipment. I did forget one thing. If you do have questions for Kathy or I during the presentation, please use the question and answer function as part of it. Apologize for that, but if you have any questions as we go through this, please use that function to ask questions, and we will answer your questions. If we can't get to all of them, we'll get back with each and every one of you. If you go to the next slide, Sam, thanks. So why is it so important when we look at durable electronics manufacturing and why it matters so much today and for the future? You know, we've continued to see durable electronics play such a critical part in the markets we serve and in our everyday lives as we're looking at things. You know, the improvements in the safety of the automobile has been so critical with the electronics advancements. The same thing in healthcare and saving lives with the medical advancements through electronics. And then from a sustainability standpoint in the industrial space on when you're looking at the efficiency improvements in heating and cooling and lighting, just play such a key role in durable electronics for us. But, you know, we've seen major improvements. Stay on that slide for just a second, Sam, you bet. You know, we continue, all of us continue to see the safety of the automobile improving even over 5 years, in the last 3 years, and the electronic content in those automobiles has doubled and tripled. And it is so critical when we're building products that are electronics for steering and braking and active sensing, that they work 100% of the time and all the time. As all of us read every day, we're getting closer and closer to autonomous driving. And if we don't have electronics that are built to take the test of the environment or last through those harsh environments, I can't imagine having a car with autonomous driving and it failing, going 80 miles an hour. That's why it's so critical that we build these products with the highest quality standards and requirements. Same thing in healthcare, as we're talking about saving lives. I remember a conversation I had with one of our customers. He had to take his wife to the emergency room, and he said, I walked into that emergency room and I saw all of our equipment there monitoring his wife as she was laying there, whether it's a patient monitoring device, a ventilator, a defibrillator device, drug delivery device. And the first thing he thought of, he goes, I'm sure happy that Kimball made me smock up and wear all my ESD protection, heel straps and grounding devices, because the last thing I would want to have happen is one of these devices fail because I didn't do something. And he was so happy that he did that, and how close it hits to home when we're talking about these medical products, and that they have to work all the time, every time, or it could have an effect on one of our family members or friends. And that's so critical for all of us. And the same thing in the sustainability, as we're looking at energy efficiency. How do we continue to get better in those key areas? And electronic controls play such a big part of that. You can go to the next slide now, Sam. And so those critical harsh environments is what we try to build our products to withstand. Whether it's in heavy rainfall environments, intense heat, frigid cold, the products we build have to work 100% of the time in those environments, and it's so critical for the environments that all of us live in today, to be able to have that happen. Go to the next slide, Sam. So where does it start? We start with an end-to-end partnership, right? We choose the right suppliers, and then we work with the right customers. I think that's the key, and we all have to have that mindset of a zero defect mindset. Everything has to work 100% of the time, all the time. It starts in the design process, how we work together with our customers in the design process. And then through the prototyping, we provide prototyping services to build products 2, 3, or 4 times before they're entered into production is a key part of that. And then we go into our new product introduction process, where we're setting up those processes, and we're doing PFEMAs, or process failure mode effect analysis, or PPAP, product part approval process. And in that process, to make sure we have the most reliable process set up. And then we go into manufacturing, and how do we monitor that manufacturing 24/7 to ensure that no matter when we build that product, it's built the right way. And then the testing, we can do everything we can in the manufacturing process, but we want to do that electrical test to make sure it works when it gets in the field, and it's applied in that product, whether it's an automobile or a medical device or a energy efficient device. And then how we support that and look at that from an aftermarket standpoint. Kimball plays a key part in that end-to-end partnership with all of our customers. You can go to the next slide, Sam. So from a Kimball perspective, we have over 38 years of experience of building durable electronics. It started in 1985 when we were the company that helped bring analog braking systems to the market. We were building the electric control units, the electronic control units for those ABS units. And that was the foundation of the company we are today, really understanding the criticality of automotive quality and having to work 100% of the time, all the time. So when you look down this list of what we do to ensure durable electronics manufacturing and supporting those durable electronics, the most critical one, I believe, and we believe, is the number one thing, is the culture of zero defects. We have to have that culture with our customers, with our suppliers, and within our 4 walls. That is the most critical part of that durable manufacturing process. Any one of our people can shut down a line and stop producing if they believe that that product is not meeting the quality standards that we signed up to. Whether they're an operator, whether they're a technician, engineer, whoever, we believe that from the top down, that we have that culture of zero defects, and it takes a long time to get there. It's a lot of work, a lot of training and development of our employees, and it starts with that culture, and that's what we do throughout our organization across the world, is really drive that mentality, because it is so critical that these products work 100% of the time. We talked about DFX, prototyping, reliability testing, and we'll share a little bit more of that as we go through this. The validation processes, and then that 24-hour real-time process control. We'll show a few examples in upcoming slides of those areas. But culture is number one for us, and that's what we really strive to, is really make sure we've got the right mentality through the entire company. You can go to the next slide, Sam. A lot of it starts with our engineering talent, the design engineering services and working with our customers, and some of the designs we do ourselves. Same thing on the test engineering solutions. Are we bringing the right solutions? Or do we have 100% coverage from a test standpoint? The design for manufacturability and what we're doing around DFM to ensure that we can produce that product with zero defects. And then the monitoring and making sure we're following the processes with our quality engineers. And our process engineers looking for ways to continually improve. It's really key to us, is a very strong engineering foundation across all of our facilities, and having that expertise in every facility to support our customers and drive that zero defect mentality. You can go to the next slide, Sam. A little bit on some of the design tools we use. Before we take any product into production, we go through a DFM with that customer, looking at that product. We use Valor as one of our DFM tools, a test site from a testability standpoint. We also look at the supply chain and leveraging Silicone Expert and verifying that the parts we're selecting are the right parts and that they have greater than 5 years of life. Most of our products have 5 to 7 year lives. We don't want to choose something that's got a 2-year life and we have to go back and revalidate a process. So that's a really important part of the whole DFM process. And then do the parts that we chose meet the sustainability requirements about RoHS and REACH and all of those critical characteristics. So that plays a key role in our process of building durable electronics. Next slide, please. You know, we've really adopted the Industry 4.0 strategy for helping us with the manufacturing of durable electronics. How can we do it better utilizing the Industry 4.0 tools, accelerate that improvement, automate where we can, and optimize those processes is really key for us. And we've really spent a lot of time over the last 3 to 5 years focusing in this area to help us to continually improve our manufacturing processes. Next slide. This is the framework for us. You know, it starts with our suppliers and ends with our customers. And we control that a little bit of all that, but our big focus is in our smart factory experience and what we're doing around that and what we're continuing to leverage from an IoT standpoint with some of the tools we have through Aviva, our smart warehouses and utilizing AGVs and robotics and automation, additive manufacturing for our tooling and allowing us to make changes faster. Looking at optical inspection and utilizing cameras for assembly to eliminate and prevent errors before they can happen. That's all part of our Industry 4.0 framework, and that is happening every day in our factories across the globe. And some of our key partners at the bottom of the slide there. Next slide. Our continuous improvement mentality is key. We have black belts and green belts and yellow belts in all of our facilities. We train all of our employees to a yellow belt status. We want them to look for ways to improve their processes and eliminate the waste. We're always looking how we can leverage the data to help us solve problems, make us better, and drive to that zero defect mentality. It's a never-ending journey for us and a never-ending focus on continually improving our processes and getting to where we are. We are not perfect. I don't want to make it sound like we are. We do have issues, but we're always working to find ways to improve and what we can do to get to that zero defect mentality. Next slide. We want to set the standard for quality reliability. That's our focus and customer service as a company. How can we continually improve the quality through our automation, our full traceability down to the component level, our preventive maintenance, greater process control, and what that leads to us is greater customer service and providing real-time visibility, faster resolution to problems, and more accurate and detailed analysis really makes a difference. Next slide. Some of the tools that allows us to have that visibility and to drive that process control. I mentioned earlier, Aviva Pi is our tool that we use to control our processes and give us that real-time feedback of how things are performing and provide the analysis management. We use the Microsoft Power Platform tools that have made a significant difference in improving the data we have and how we can look at that data and analyze that data. And our people are no longer putting spreadsheets together to look at data, but they're just spending their time analyzing the data using those Microsoft tools. And then where can we leverage automation is the other key focus for us. And I've got some examples in the upcoming slides to show that. Next slide, Sam. Just share a little bit about Aviva Pi for us. This is a SMT line for us, a surface mount technology where we're populating substrates with surface mount components. We are monitoring our processes 24/7. it is so critical when you're talking about durable electronics and the zero defect mentality, that what we build today at 11:30 a.m. is the same quality of product we're going to build tonight at 11:30 p.m. or this weekend at 11:30 a.m. We want that 24-hour monitoring and to have that process control, that if there is an issue, we're notified immediately. We shut down that process. And it is so critical for us as a company to have that mindset and drive that. And we're driving this across every process in our facilities. Next slide, Sam, thanks. You know, from an automation standpoint, we're very focused, and this is just an example of a very complex automotive assembly we do. We have 15 to 18 different manufacturing processes. If we were to do this manually, it would take us about 13 people a shift, or about 39 employees. We do it with one per shift today, but a very complex process where we can automate, we're automating, leveraging robots and cobots to really take us to the next level from a quality standpoint. And then the incorporation of 3D inspection and final functional test are all critical, but we're doing everything from press fit to soldering to RTV and testing and inspecting, driving torque screws. It is all process controlled through this fully automated line. And this is that collaboration I talked about earlier, working with our customers on the design side to make sure that we can have this type of automation through our processes. A really key part. This is a very complex. There's 5 printed circuit board assemblies that come together to make this automotive product for steering control. You can go to the next slide. You know, we have a similar thing in our drug delivery products. You know, we build products that save people's lives from a drug delivery standpoint. This line is a fully automated, 22 different robots are part of this process. This is a drug delivery device. It has everything from electronics to drug to needles in it. And it is completely 100% no touch from a human standpoint. And these products, similar to our electronic products, have to work every time. The worst thing that could happen is a person that needs this to save their life, and they don't have it, and it doesn't work when they go to use it, is devastating. So it is absolutely critical we have that same mentality in our drug delivery devices and our processes we use to assemble those products. We build millions of these a year, and that reliability is just as critical as we have in the automotive or other verticals. We got expertise in FDA requirements. You know, we collaborate closely with our customers and our suppliers in this environment to drive that zero defect mentality. You can go to the next slide. And where we can't have that automation, we've developed tools like a Smart Assist system. This is a system we developed internally. Some of it we've partnered with some of our external suppliers, but these are high mix, low volume, big box build assemblies or manual insertion assemblies that can't be automated. And what do we have to do to have the preventive and detection while we're building it? And this Smart Assistance system is optical driven. It allows the operator to assemble that product the right way. And if there's a defect, it'll stop and won't allow it to go to the next step. If you go to the next slide, there's another example of it, Sam. You know, it tells that operator, hey, you have a problem. You can't go to the next slide. You inserted that screw wrong. You routed that cable wrong. So we're also looking at the same thing where we can't have that full automation to help us from a prevention and detection standpoint. It's really key for us as we continue to drive into more and more final assembly for our customers. Go to the next slide. Yeah. We've also been on a journey to eliminate all manual inspection in our processes, and wherever possible, go to full optical inspection. It's much more reliable. Those cameras don't get tired at the end of the day. They don't miss that defect that might have happened somewhere in that process. So it's a really key part to our continuous improvement, is leveraging optical inspection throughout the entire process, looking for odd things, looking for a cracked part, looking for a damaged part, or something that's missing from an assembly. It's really made a big difference for us as we continue to strive for that zero defect mentality and having zero defects leave a Kimball factory. Go to the next slide. You know, for the things we can't see, we have to do an electrical test, you know, and this is a mentality difference, I think, for some customers, and it's really critical. We don't want to build anything that doesn't have a full functional test for it. And what does that mean is that, hey, it's tested to the full requirements that device is going to see in the field. And we partner with our customers to ensure that functional test is doing that. We'll do DFEMAs to say what part is not tested, what solder joint is not tested, and do we have to put some other inspection in place. But it is so critical to have that functional test. We can control the manufacturing processes in our plants, but we can't control all of the manufacturing processes from the thousands of suppliers we buy parts from. So this electrical test allows us to have that extra step and achieve that zero defect mentality. You can go to the next slide. You know, and where we do have issues, we have the ability to do root cause failure analysis through halt testing, highly accelerated life testing, and reliability testing. Our engineers can put a product within a chamber, take it down to minus 40 C or plus 80 C and vibrate it and break it and see where did it fail, what caused the failure, and what we can do to help. So we leverage this technology a lot in field failure analysis or early on in design for quality. So it's a really key part of our offering. Finally, just wrapping up everything, you know, our goal is, like I said, to set the standard for reliability and quality and customer service, and leveraging what I shared earlier to do that and support this critical durable electronics industry and what we do. You know, the stakes are so high for failure, and we can't allow that to happen. So our people, how we continue to upskill our folks is so critical. How we can continue to find ways to automate. Those robots typically don't get tired after 6 hours or 7 hours. We are continually to strive for that. And then that real-time visibility and quick resolution when issues arrive, working with our customers. You know, in our mind, we believe perfection is possible, and we're going to continue to strive for that and drive to that. We only can see this industry growing in this durable electronics as more and more safety and saving of lives and sustainability is required in our environment. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy, and she's going to share a little bit more about Kimball Electronics with everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Just a quick shout out to Steve, 19-year anniversary with Kimball today. So I really appreciate your partnership and collaboration, Steve. It's really wonderful to work with you. I'll spend a little bit of time talking about who Kimball is. And just to reiterate what Steve had said, durable electronics are certainly products that have a high cost of failure. And in all three of our vertical markets, we are saving lives. So what we do matters. And the two biggest reasons I'm here at Kimball is, one, what we do matters in this durable electronic space in our three verticals, saving the lives of family, friends, and people all over the world. It really matters. And how we go about business, and we'll talk about our culture in just a few minutes here, that matters to me on how we do it. It's a very good fit for me. So durable electronics require a customized approach to each of our customers and each product that we work on. Next slide, please. Who Kimball is? We are a medium-sized electronic manufacturing services company, and we're quickly approaching $2 billion in sales. We've got 8 global locations, facilities throughout the world, and each of our facilities is geared up to support all of our verticals and the durable electronic products that we work on. Next slide, please. Our global footprint is tied together, I would say, by our single instance of our SAP system. as well as our global quality system that Steve talked about. It's important that we have this cohesive system throughout the globe for our customers. The rigor in which we build these products is very high, life-saving, and tying the facilities together is important because many of our customers, we build product for them in multiple Kimball locations. So having that cohesive system in place and strong rigorous quality system is very important for us to be able to do that. Next slide, please. So speaking about our culture, our core values are based on our guiding principles, and they support the rigor that's needed to produce these high quality durable electronics that we need for our customers. And we specifically, like Steve talked about, we specifically target customers within each of our 3 verticals that have a requirement for durable electronics. Our people, all of our people are trained to support these types of products. And we are conscious in the environments. The environments are home, and we're very conscious of everywhere that we build these durable electronics, what is our footprint in the places that we're building. And then for certain, profits are the ultimate measure of how effectively and efficiently that we serve our customers in these spaces. Next slide, please. As I said, most of our customers have products that are built in multiple Kimball locations. So it's very important for us to serve our customers with a single point of contact, which is our business manager model. These people are really the glue between our customers and our Kimball facilities, Kimball operation facilities locations. So this model really helps us build those strong, lasting relationships that are so important to us and our business. Next slide, please. So looking a little bit to the future, what do we see in terms of automotive? We're going to continue to see the electrical content increasing in each of the vehicles that all of us drive. Our focus on the durable requirements that's needed for steering and braking and sensoring in the safety control area are really engine agnostic, meaning the braking and steering is needed on both the internal combustion engines as well as electric vehicles. Next slide, please. So for our medical space, we're going to continue to focus on those FDA Class 2 and 3 products that are critical to life. Products that will improve and save lives, both at home and in the clinical environment. So these products have to be reliable, they have to be durable, and they have to achieve better patient outcomes. Next slide, please. And for industrial, the products that Steve talked about earlier too are, they need to really operate continually and in harsh environments. So products such as an HVAC system that's on top of a roof and exposed to the elements 24/7 for maybe many years. And as we know that many of these environments in the regions that they live are extreme hot, extreme cold, extreme weather. So they really have to hold up. These products typically, they typically have really long life cycles. So they really have to be built for those harsh environments and the durability of living out there. Next slide. So what's next for Kimball? I would say that we're going to continue to move up the value stream with our customers, moving from PCBAs to higher level assemblies and full system assemblies for our customers. Our experience in durable electronics also positions us very well to support our customers in their return and repair services and reverse logistics. So we are very interested in continuing to grow that piece of our business. We talk to our customers about their potential interest in divesting assets they might have that are not core to their business. And I think that the durable electronics that have such a long life cycle really plays well into that need to serve them long term in the service and repair in the reverse logistics economy. Next slide, please. So why Kimball Electronics? We've got 62 years of experience building durable electronics, and we've stayed focused on this since our since our inception. We've become known in the industry for producing really high quality, high reliable, durable electronics. Kimball's been known with our automotive, our industrial, medical verticals as being very strong in producing these types of products. And we're going to continue to build upon our strong culture that's built on our guiding principles to ensure that we can continue to succeed collaboratively with our customers in success in building these durable electronics. So that's all I have, and I think we are open for questions.
Hey, our first question, Steve and Kathy, in the chat is, what do you feel is or are the biggest differences between standard electronics manufacturing versus durable electronics manufacturing?
I think it's what I started with, Mary Lee, is we look at, the rigor in selecting the components, the rigor in the design and the testing, the validation. And then, how that change control is really at a different level, and the amount of time it takes to validate if we do want to make a change. I think that is absolutely a major difference when you look at our processes, our manufacturing, and our customer requirements for us. So that plays a key role in these durable electronics and driving to that zero defect mentality.
Okay, and our next question is, what are the advantages to partnering with an electronics manufacturing services company like Kimball Electronics versus manufacturing in-house as an OEM?
What we hear from our customers, Mary Lee, is really around them being able to focus on their core competencies, which are typically in, their market spaces, and designing products that fit for their market, where they're going, and the front end of that business for them. And manufacturing is not really a core competency. Keeping up with the next latest technology, all of the things that Steve talked about is core to our business and what we do. So it's really taking a look at what's your core competencies and strategies in terms of where you're taking your company. And many customers feel that manufacturing is just not a core competency. And for Kimball, it absolutely is.
Okay, our next question comes from the Q&A. Do we have, are we certified in ISO 13485 to produce medical equipment?
Yeah, that's a good question. All of our facilities are ISO 13485 certified across the globe, and we're building medical products in all of those facilities today. And many of them are also FDA approved or FDA registered. So that is part of our core in the medical space.
Okay, the next question is, what tools, for example, software or operations tools, are non-negotiable to support the focus on efficiency of the data and the data that Kimball uses in manufacturing?
I'll try to answer that if I understand the question right, Mary Lee, is, when we look at our SAP system, that's non-negotiable. That's a tool we're going to have. The Aviva Pi software we're using, the Microsoft tools, those are non-negotiable for us. But we're always looking at new tools and opportunity to improve. If there's a tool out there that can improve our efficiency or improve our processes, we're definitely continuing to look at that, both from a software and hardware standpoint.
Okay, Steve, I believe you touched on this a little bit, but the next question is, what is your supply chain management strategy for those long life cycle products?
Another good question. On long, we update the information we get regularly every year on what's the life cycle of a part. We work with our customers then. If there is a component that is going end of life, what is the right strategy? How much life does that product have left in it? Would we make a last time buy? Would we do a design change with the customer? Would we have a part that we could replace and have a drop-in replacement? We would do that engineering work to see what we could have from an alternate component standpoint. So a variety of different things we use when we look at end-of-life components.
Okay, the next question is, what sets Kimball Electronics apart from other electronic manufacturing service providers?
What I would say, Mary Lee, that I hear from customers consistently over and over again is what sets us apart is our culture, our people, the how we get the work done. And Steve did a nice job of explaining all of the different types of tools and work and systems and processes that we have. All of that requires people and discipline. All of that is backed up by our guiding principles, and our culture really sets us apart from our competitors. And we hear from customers all the time, you all have manufacturing equipment, you all have buildings, but what really sets Kimball apart is your people and how you go about getting the work done.
Okay, and I believe last question, unless there's any more questions entered in the Q&A. How early is too early to partner with an EMS provider when designing a product?
I don't think there's a too early, Mary Lee. I think, the earlier we can be part of that and looking at a design, from a quality as well as a costing standpoint, I think is really critical to drive out unnecessary processes, but also to look at opportunities to improve it from a quality standpoint. So we want to be involved from day one if we can, and have that input in how it's designed, what components are being selected, who are the suppliers. That's a key factor for us from a success standpoint.
Okay, I don't believe there are any further questions in the chat or in the Q&A.
Very good. I appreciate everyone taking the time out to spend with us, and we really appreciate this opportunity to talk with everyone.
You bet. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and have a great holiday season.